Good day, everyone. I am Joshua J. B. Esteban, and today's topic we're going to discuss about conic sections, specifically circle. Conic section, simply known as conic, is the intersection of a plane in a double-nape cone. It consists of four basic conics. First is you have the parabola, circle, ellipse, and hyperbola, as shown in the figures, all which are intersecting planes that do not pass through the vertex of the cone. Now we're going to discuss about circle. A circle is a set of all points that is equidistant to a fixed point called the center. Moreover, the constant equal distance is called the radius, and the diameter is the length of a straight line segment that passes through the center of a circle. The standard equation for the circle if the center is at origin is x squared plus y squared equals r squared, while the equation of the circle if the center is not at the origin is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Moreover, the general equation of the circle is x squared plus y squared plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0. Note that if the equation of the circle is given in general form, the center and the radius of the circle is easily identified by, for h, we have h is equal to negative d over 2. For k, we have k is equal to negative e over 2. For r, we have r is equal to the square root of h squared plus k squared minus f, where the radicand h squared plus k squared minus f should be greater than 0, or otherwise, if h squared plus k squared minus f is equal to 0, then it is a point circle. H squared plus k squared minus f is less than 0, then it is an empty set or null set. Now let's try example number 1. Find the radius and graph the circle represented by the equation x squared plus y squared equals 121. Follow these steps to solve the given example. First is we have to analyze the problem. Second is we have to recall the formulas. Third is to find the radius, and lastly, to graph the circle. The question required to find the radius and the graph of the circle represented by the equation x squared plus y squared equals 121. Since this is a circle that has a center located at the origin, it follows the simplified standard equation of the circle, which is x squared plus y squared is equal to r squared, where r represents the radius of the circle. Since x squared plus y squared is equal to 121 is given and r squared is equal to 121, to find r, simply square root the 121. R squared is equal to 121 and we take the square root of both sides, which square root of r squared is equal to r, and the square root of 121 is 11. Now this equation has a radius of 11. To plot the circle having the equation x squared plus y squared equals r squared, solve the equation for y. So we have the x squared plus y squared equals r squared, and we know that our r is equal to 11. Now we have x squared plus y squared is equal to 11 squared, and 11 squared is equal to 121. Now we must solve the equation for y. To solve the equation for y, we simply subtract negative x to both sides, which is shown, and we will have y squared is equal to 121 minus x squared. Now we will take the square root of both sides. The square root of y squared is equal to the square root of 121 minus x squared. Now, the square root of y squared is equal to y. And y, now we will have y is equal to plus minus square root of 121 minus x squared. As shown in the table of values, we have the value of x, which are negative 10, negative 8, negative 6, negative 4, negative 2, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10. We input these x values to our equation. Note that our equation is y is equal to plus minus square root of 121 minus x squared. Using your calculators, we solve for y. With that, the graph of the circle x squared plus y squared is equal to 121 should look like this. Now let us try example number 2. Find the equation of the circle having a diameter with endpoints at A, where x coordinate is 1 and y coordinate is 1, and B, where x coordinate is 4 and y coordinate is 6. Now we follow these steps to solve the given example. The first step is we have to analyze the problem. Second is we have to recall the formulas. And lastly, step 3 is we have to find the equation of the circle. Now the question required to find the equation of the circle having a diameter with endpoints at A and B. In this question, we needed to find the diameter of the circle, the radius of the circle, the center of the circle to find the equation of the circle. Since the problem requires finding the diameter of the circle, radius of the circle, center of the circle, and its equation, utilize distance formula for finding the diameter and radius, and use midpoint formula to identify the center of the circle. Now the midpoint formula is x sub m, y sub m is equal to x sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2 for x, and for y, we have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2. Now for the distance formula, we have v is equal to the square root of x sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 1 minus y sub 2 squared. Now we will find the center, diameter, radius, and the given equation. Now we will utilize midpoint formula to find the center. But first, let us know our x sub 1 and y sub 1, our x sub 2 and y sub 2. Now let us use point A for our x sub 1 and y sub 1. X sub 1 will be 1 and y sub 1 is 1 also. For point B, we will have x sub 2 and y sub 2. Our x sub 2 is 4 and y sub 2 is 6. With that, we will now utilize the midpoint formula. X sub 1 plus x sub 2 over 2, we will have 1 plus 4 over 2, and that is 5 over 2. Now for our y, we have y sub 1 plus y sub 2 over 2, and that will be 1 plus 6 over 2, and that would be 7 over 2. So the center of our equation is 5 over 2, that would be our x, and our y is 7 over 2. Now we will utilize the distance formula to find the diameter and the radius. Now let's first find our diameter using distance formula. And take note that I also identified our x sub 1, y sub 1, and x sub 2 and y sub 2. Now that would lead us to d is equal to the square root of 1 minus 4 squared plus 1 minus 6 squared by the distance formula. Now 1 minus 4 is equal to negative 3 and 1 minus 6 is negative 5. Now d is equal to the square root of negative 3 squared plus negative 5 squared. And negative 3 squared is 9 and negative 5 squared is 25. Now we will have v is equal to the square root of 9 plus 25. And 9 plus 25 is equal to 34. Now we will have d as our square root of 34. Now let us find our radius. Take note that d is square root of 34. So to find the radius, we have r is equal to d over 2. Now our d is square root of 34. Then that would lead us to r is equal to the square root of 34 over 2. Now let us find the equation of the circle. Take note that our radius is equal to square root of 34 over 2, and our center is located at 5 over 2, that is our x, and our y is 7 over 2. Since the center is not at the origin, we will use x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. Take note that x is our h. Therefore, our h is equal to 5 over 2. And our k is 7 over 2. Now we'll have x minus 5 over 2 squared plus y minus 7 over 2 squared. And our radius is square root of 34 over 2. And that would be square root of 34 over 2 squared. We will solve for the right hand where square root of 34 over 2 squared is 17 over 2. Therefore, the equation of the circle is x minus 5 over 2 squared plus y minus 7 over 2 squared is equal to 17 over 2. Now let us try example number 3. Find the center and the radius of the circle whose equation is x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 10y plus 12 equals 0. Take note that the equation follows the general form of a circle. Follow these steps to solve the given example. First is we have to analyze the problem. Second, we have to perform completing the square. And lastly, we have to find the center and the radius. The question required to find the center and the radius of the circle. whose question is x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 10y plus 12 equals 0. Since this problem requires finding the center and the radius of the circle, and this already has a given equation of x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 10y plus 12 equals 0, now we will perform the completing the square. X squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 10y plus 12 equals 0 is the equation of our circle. Now we will move the constant term positive 12 to the right side of the equation by subtracting it from both sides. Now we will subtract negative 12 to both sides. We will have x squared minus 8x plus y squared plus 10y is equal to negative 12. Now notice that we rearrange the equation in terms of x and y. Now we will perform the completing the square. Now we will have x squared minus 8x plus 8 over 2 squared plus y squared plus 10y plus 10 over 2 squared is equal to negative 12 plus 8 over 2 squared plus 10 over 2 squared. Now whatever you add to the left side must also be added to the right side. Now we will take the 1 half of 8. Now 8 divided by 2 is 4 and 10 divided by 2 is 5. Now we have x squared minus 8x plus 4 squared plus y squared plus 10y plus 5 squared is equal to negative 12 plus 4 squared plus 5 squared. Now we calculate the square. 4 squared is equal to 16 and 5 squared is equal to 25. Now we will have x squared minus 8x plus 16 plus y squared plus 10y plus 25 is equal to negative 12 plus 16 plus 25. Now we will have x minus 4 squared plus y plus 5 squared. Now from the right side, negative 12 plus 16 plus 25 is equal to 29. Now we'll find the center and the radius. Now we will first find the radius. We have x minus 4 squared plus y plus 5 squared is equal to 29. Now our radius is 29. So r squared is equal to 29, and we'll take the square root of both sides. Square root of r squared is r, and the square root of 29 is square root of 29. So the radius is square root of 29. Now we'll find our center. X minus 4 squared plus y plus 5 squared is equal to 29. Now we find x coordinates, which is our h, and y coordinate, which is our k. To find the value of x that makes the x part of the equation 0, we set the expression inside the parentheses to 0. Now that would be x minus 4 equals to 0 and x is equals to 0. We will do the same to y. We have y plus 5 equals to 0 and that would be y is equal to negative 5. So our center is located at our x coordinate, which is 4, and our y coordinate is equal to negative 5. Now, alternatively, since the equation of the circle is in general form, x squared plus y squared minus 8x plus 10y plus 12 equals 0, to identify the radius of the center efficiently, we utilize the following. We know that for h is equal to negative d over 2, and for k, we have k is equal to negative e over 2, and for r, which is our radius, r is equal to square root of h squared plus k squared minus f, where we know that d is equal to negative 8 and e is equal to 10 and our f is 12. Now for h, we have h is equal to negative d over 2. We know that d is equal to negative 8. Therefore, h is equal to negative 8 over 2. With that, we will have h is equal to 4. Now let us solve for our k. For k, we have k is equal to negative e over 2 and our e is equal to 10. Therefore, k is equal to negative 10 over 2, and that will give us to k is equal to negative 5. Now we will have a center 4 and negative 5, which h and k. Now let us solve for our r. R is equal to the square root of h squared plus k squared minus f. And we know that our h is 4 and our k is negative 5. So we'll input that into the equation of r. Therefore, we have r is equal to the square root of 4 squared plus negative 5 squared minus 12. And that would give us to 16 plus 25 minus 12. And 16 plus 25 minus 12 is 29. Therefore, our radius is equal to square root of 29. Notice that in this method and the completing the square method, it still has the same center and radius. Now, the radius is square root of 29 and our center is located at 4 and negative 5, respectively. Now let us try example number 4. Find the equation of the tangent line to the circle x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 8y minus 5 equals 0 at the point where our x coordinate is 6 and our y coordinate is negative 3. Now follow these steps to solve the given example. First is you have to analyze. Second, perform completing the square. Third is to find the center and radius. Fourth is to find the slope. And lastly, find the equation of the tangent line. The question requires to find the equation of the tangent line to the circle having an equation of x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 8y minus 5 is equal to 0 at the point where x is 6 and our y coordinate is negative 3. Moreover, this problem requires plotting the circle and tangent line on the coordinate plane. Now in step 2, we will perform the completing the square. We have x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 8y minus 5 equals to 0. First, we will add 5 to both sides. Now we will have x squared minus 4x plus y squared plus 8y is equals to 5. Notice that the equation was rearranged. That is according to x terms and y terms, which is x squared minus 4x plus y squared plus 8y for the left hand side. Now we will go to the completing the square. That is x squared minus 4x plus 4 over 2 squared plus y squared plus 8y plus 8 over 2 squared is equal to 5 plus 4 over 2 squared plus 8 over 2 squared. Now we will solve the 4 over 2 and 8 over 2. 4 over 2, which is the half, 1 half of 4 is 2. And the 1 half of 8 is 4, which we will have x squared minus 4x plus 2 squared plus y squared plus 8y plus 4 squared is equal to 5 plus 2 squared plus 4 squared. Now we'll solve for the squared. 2 squared is equal to 4 and 4 squared is equal to 16. Now we will have x squared plus 4x plus 4 plus y squared plus 8y plus 16 is equal to 5 plus 4 plus 16. Now doing the same thing from the left side, we'll convert trinomials into squared binomials. Now we factor x terms and y terms. Now we will have x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared. And 5 plus 4 plus 16 is equal to 25, which we will have x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equal to 25. Now we'll find the center in radius. Now to find the radius, we have x minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equal to 25. And our radius is 25. So therefore, r squared is equal to 25, and taking the square root of both sides, we have square root of r squared is equal to square root of 25. And the square root of r squared is r, and the square root of 25 is 5. Therefore, the radius is equal to 5. Now we'll find the center. X minus 2 squared plus y plus 4 squared is equal to 25. Doing the same thing, we will have x minus 2 is equal to 0, and our x, which is our h, is 2. And for y, we have y plus 4 equals 0. We have y is equal to negative 4, which is that is our k. Therefore, our center is located at 2, which is our h, and k is our negative 4. Now we'll find the slope. We have 2, our x coordinate is 2, and our y coordinate is 4. And we have another point which is 6 and negative 3.
Now we will use the slope form formula.
We have m is equal to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Now we will have m is equal to negative 3 minus negative 4 over x minus 2. We will have m is equal to negative 3 plus 4 over 4. And our m is equal to 1 half. Now we'll get the negative reciprocal of m, which is m is equal to 1 half. Then that would become to m is equal to negative 4 over 1. So our m is negative 4. Now we'll find the equation of the tangent using point slope form. Y minus y sub 1 is equal to m times x minus x sub 1, where m is equals to negative 4, as shown in here. And x sub 1 and y sub 1 is equal to x and negative 3. So we will have y minus negative 3 is equal to negative 4 times x minus 6. With that, we will have y plus 3 is equal to negative 4 times x minus 6.
Now we will solve for our right hand side.
So we will have negative 4x plus 24. Therefore, the equation we will have y plus 4x is equal to.
24.
Now let us try application of circle. A gardener plans to create a circular garden with a fountain located at the point, which is the x coordinate is located at 20 meters and the y coordinate is located at 30 meters, which will serve as the center of the garden. From the fountain, a path extends straight to the edge of the garden, reaching the circumference. If the end of the path lies in the point, which is our x coordinate will be 26 meters and our y coordinate will be 36 meters, determine the radius of the point and the equation of the circular garden. So this is the illustration of the problem. So to solve this example, we first analyze the problem. Second is we have to recall the formula. And third is find the radius. And lastly, find the equation of the circular garden. The question requires to find the radius of the point and the equation of the circular garden. In this problem, the following information are given. The center of the garden is located at 20 meters, which is x, and our y is 30 meters. The end of the path lies in the point 26 meters, that would be our x, and the y coordinate would be 36 meters. The problem has a center of 20 meters, 30 meters, and point 26 meters, 36 meters. These ordered pairs will serve as the key to find the radius of the circular garden by using distance formula. So we will utilize the distance formula to find the radius. Take note that x sub 1 is 20 and y sub 1 is 30, and our x sub 2 is 26 and our y sub 2 is 36. So we all know that the distance formula is equal to d is equal to the square root of x sub 1 minus x sub 2 squared plus y sub 1 minus y sub 2 squared. With that, we will have d is equal to the square root of 20 minus 26 squared plus 30 minus 36 squared. Now 20 minus 26 is negative 6 and 30 minus 36 is also equal to negative 6. Now we will have d is equal to the square root of negative 6 squared plus negative 6 squared. So the square root of negative 6 is 36. So we will have v is equal to the square root of 36 plus 36. And 36 plus 36 is 72. Now we will have d is equal to the square root of 72. And the square root of 72 is 6 squared 2. So d is equal to 6 squared 2. Now find the equation of the circular garden. This means that the radius of the circular garden having a center of 20 and 30 and point of 26 and 36 is 6 square root of 2, or approximately 8.48 meters. Since the radius of the circular garden is approximately 8.49 meters and has a center of 20 and 30, using standard equation of the circular, substitute these values into the equation. We know that we will use x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to r squared. So we'll have x minus 20 squared plus y minus 30 squared equal to 8.49 squared. So solving from the left hand side, or the right hand side rather, we will have 72.0801. Therefore, the equation of the circular garden having a center of 20, which is our x coordinate, and 30, which is our y coordinate, and a radius approximately 8.49 meters is x minus 20 squared plus y minus 30 squared is equal to 72.0801. Now let's try this. Pause the video if you want more time to solve the given assessment. Now, first assessment. Find the radius and graph the circle represented by the equation x squared plus y squared equals 169. Number 2. Find the equation of the circle having a diameter with endpoints at A, 2, negative 1, and B, 8 and 5. For number 3, find the center and the radius of the circle whose equation is x squared plus y squared minus 10x plus 8y plus 16 equals 0. For number 4, find an equation of the tangent line to the circle x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 4y minus 12 equals 0 at the point 5 and negative 1. Then sketch the circle and its tangent line on the same coordinate plane. Number 5, prove the graph of x squared plus y squared plus 8x minus 6y plus 30 equals 0 is an empty set. Number 6, an application. An engineer is designing a circular roundabouts for a city intersection. It must pass through two street lights located at S we have 3 and 2 and S sub 2 we have 11 and 6. For symmetry, the center of roundabout lies along the main road represented by the line x minus 2y plus 4 equals 0. A. Find the coordinate of the center of the roundabout. B. Find the radius of the roundabout. And C. Find the equation of the roundabout. Now giving you the answer key of the given questions. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I am Joshua JB Esteban, and I hope I'll see you again. Bye!